Hello, and welcome back to Cape Corner, where we explore the history, story, and cultural impact of a different character or group every episode. I'm Blue,
And I'm Jordan.
and we'll be your hosts as we take this journey together. Jordan, I fucking called it with Loki.
Oh, with Lady Loki.
Hell yeah, I'm. People should make like a statue of me because I'm just I'm a fucking genius.
Yeah, did I
Uh,
ever tell you just how close I got to predicting the plot of Endgame before it came out?
yeah, we talked about that.
Okay, yeah.
Is yeah, I said on the show here, I was like, yeah, it wasn't especially like surprising, but it was more about the journey than like the destination with that movie, I feel.
Yeah, because this is super off topic, but I actually have my like predictions from a year before, and I said things like Ant-Man's quantum realm technology will be the key to opening up some form of time travel or alternate dimensions. And then I had a couple things that were wrong, but then I had Tony creates a device that allows them to not get lost while they're doing this through the quantum realm. And then I had a couple more predictions. And then I wound up with I won't be surprised if the movie has a time jump of about 3 to 5 years, due to Ant-Man traveling through some sort of time vortex in the quantum realm. And then I landed on at some point Thor will be beaten nearly to death by Thanos and Captain America will pick up the hammer to save his life, which they will have retrieved via time travel.
Those are some pretty good
I
predictions.
just managed to get all of those. There were a whole bunch of stuff I got wrong, but those ones that I got right really surprised me.
Yeah, I think probably like because again, I was predicting or at least hearing predictions from others that sort of mapped out the basic beats of the movie before I went in. But I think the thing that caught me off guard the most was I wasn't expecting it to be a different Thanos that they were fighting in the end. Like
Yes, Thanos straight up dying 15 minutes into the movie floored me. I was like,
that
okay,
was
I know nothing.
that
I'm
was
completely
wild.
lost.
uh,
Speaking of Endgame, that's actually a great transition because the character we're talking about today was like the whole internet just assumed that he would show up in Endgame.
why was that?
It
Like
was
I
because of We Got This Covered, because We Got This Covered is garbage.
oh Jesus. Okay. Well, yeah, today we're going to be talking about one of the favorite characters from all of Marvel. Uh, he's actually got a bunch of nicknames technically, but today we're going to be talking about Weapon X, Experiment X, uh, James Howlett, Logan. Today we're talking about the Wolverine,
Oh boy.
who, man, what a fucking history this character
Oh
has.
my god, this character.
Like it's genuinely like it's kind of flooring just how varied but consistently loved this character is. Like no matter what variation or shit he goes through, like he's like from his appearance, he was a breakout character, and his first appearance kind of sucked. Like, do
Really?
you? Well, yeah. So, okay, he first appeared in the Incredible Hulk number 181. Um, he was extremely ambiguous. All it revealed was that he was some kind of superhuman agent of the Canadian government, and he was there to be a Hulk enemy. Like he was going after the Hulk, and the implication was initially that his claws were some sort of like technology, like some sort of weapon that was coming out of his gloves.
Hmm.
Um, and like his design was a little bit different than what we're used to, and uh, he was just, like contrary to Hugh Jackman's portrayal, he is not this tall, handsome man. He's this short, squat, hairy, crude, ugly little cigar smoking insult slinging bastard man.
Yep.
Who, what is he, like 5'3" or something?
Yeah, he's a pretty short dude in the comics.
I'm looking it up right now. He's
Clickety clickety clack.
Yeah, 5'3". Versus the 6'3" that Hugh Jackman is.
Just off by a little bit.
Yeah, only 12 inches. But yeah, so obviously he was later rolled into the X-Men. I'm actually not sure because he had his yellow and blue suit initially, but did he inspire the yellow and blue suits of the X-Men?
Oh, interesting. I have no idea because I did no research for this episode.
Okay, so he appeared in November of 1974. So let me look up when the X-Men appeared.
Of 74? The X-Men were around
November
before that.
74.
They were around before that, I believe.
Yeah, the X-Men first appeared in September 1963. So they already had the yellow and blue suits going on. So
it's just a coincidence.
I guess it must have just been a coincidence, and they were
he
like,
showed up and they were like, "Hey, twinning."
Yeah, they were like yellow and blue. That's just kind of a good color scheme, and
that's why they let him in.
Yeah,
they just liked his fashion sense.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's also funny because whenever people hear it, like Wolverine, they're like, "Oh, that sounds badass." But like, if you see an actual Wolverine, they are like what his initial depiction was, like kind of unimportant, but just like a squirrely little squat, rabid, furry creature. It's like, and it's like it's such an unimpressive creature.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember whether it was Hugh Jackman or if it was someone else related to the creation of the movies, but kept thinking that Wolverines are related to wolves, and
I always thought
that
that
we
too.
should give him like wolf-like characteristics. But no,
yes,
it's not even close.
I recall this. For the first X-Men movie, Hugh Jackman in an interview said that he made sure one of his big character traits was that he was always had his head angled down, looking upwards from his eyes, because it was like an intimidation look that wolves use. And it's like, yeah, but that's not what a Wolverine is. It's cool, but
And they kept having him have that like little moment with that wolf in the snow, where he's like makes eye contact with this wolf, and they have this kind of mutual bro-ish understanding. It's like he's not a wolf though.
That's like X2 or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll admit, my knowledge of some of the older movies is going to be a little bit shakier because I haven't rewatched them in a while. But
I basically obsessively rewatch stuff. Like anything that I've watched, especially comic book stuff, I've watched any of these movies 10 to 15, 20 times.
Yeah.
I've lost count of how many times I've rewatched Iron Man.
Hey man, that's a really easy one to rewatch.
Oh, very much so.
So should we talk a little bit about Wolverine's origin and then go on to like his abilities?
Sure thing.
All right. So okay, James Howlett, born in Canada in like I want to say 1800s.
If the movies are correct, yes.
I believe that was the case in the comics too. Yeah. And he wound up awaking to his own genetic mutation, which instilled him with a incredible regenerative ability that enhanced his lifespan far beyond what a normal human should have. He wound up living through, like, according to the movies, but I think it's also later on referenced, at least some of them in the comic books, he wound up going through a lot of the like old wars that America had, uh, just choosing to become an American via Canada. And um, regardless of the canon, it is always like a factual thing that at the very least he was in World War II as a member of the Howling Commandos, and he knew Captain America.
God, if
Um,
only we could have gotten that in the MCU.
it would have been
Oh,
really cool.
oh, I'd have given anything to see it.
Yeah. But then sometime around the Vietnam War, he becomes embroiled in a plot where, okay, so he has claws that come out of his knuckles, and originally they were just made of bone, like made of like what is it? What hair is made of it? And your fingernails?
Cartilage?
No, not cartilage. It's
Oh,
what? Louder? Keratin. Yes, thank you.
you can tell
That,
neither of us are biologists.
well, I actually know a lot of biology, but I also have bad memory problems. So,
Oh, well, I'm definitely not a biologist.
uh, but my my roommate also is very well versed on stuff, so she helped me out just now. Um, but anyway, yeah. So basically, they were like normal animal claws, but he needed to undergo an upgrade to turn them metallic. So he joined the Weapon X program, which never does anything shady or underhanded ever.
Never.
Uh, and had his entire skeleton grafted with adamantium, um, which rivals vibranium in terms of Marvel's incredibly impressive fictional metals. uh, where vibranium's durability largely comes from the ability to displace energy, whether it's like kinetic energy, like ballistic energy, or whether it's like laser beams or shit, which is famously what Captain America's shield and Black Panther's suit are both known for. Um, adamantium is just tough as nails on a pure physical level. I think in terms of strict durability, it is stronger than vibranium, but vibranium overall has better like repulsion capabilities. Um, but regardless, his skeleton is now adamantium, meaning he is a heavy motherfucker, and his claws, as a result, are now essentially knives that come out of his hands.
Dude's deadly.
It's really cool. uh, he they then wound up turning on him, and he had to fight his way out of the Weapon X program. However, um, during his escape, they did enough damage to him, either through the process or through adamantium bullets to the brain, whatever the case may be, based on which version of the story you're going with. His memory was lost, and he forgot that he was James Howlett, and instead uh, started going by the name of Logan, which is what most people know him as these days.
Thanks to the hit blockbuster Logan.
We're going to talk about that movie. Holy shit.
Oh boy, will we.
Oh my god. We're going to talk about the whole trilogy, but I have a lot more to say about Logan. um, but yeah, as far as his abilities, do you want to give us the rundown of his skills?
So his skills, to my understanding, are that he is practically immortal, or at least ages extremely slowly, because he's been roughly the same age for several decades in his general appearance.
Over a century at this point.
Yeah, because he's supposed to have, at least, again, I've done no research. All I have to go on are the movies. In the movie, he appears to be about the same age, starting at the Civil War in
Yeah.
the 1860s up until the present, and even going 10 or so years into the future. Um, and he has his metal claws that can cut through just about anything he comes across in an average story, unless it's some other super special material like
It's
vibranium
very
or another
it,
piece of adamantium.
it's very funny to me that they've established that those claws can cut through anything, and yet he can still use them to climb somehow. Like,
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
physically
That's a
speaking,
good point.
shouldn't he just fall right back down?
Yeah. Well, it's the same problem I have with the explanation, at least in the movies, of Captain America's shield, that vibranium absorbs all vibration. So how does it bounce?
Well, because it absorbs and redirects.
Okay, so why doesn't Cap bounce when he lands on it?
Because he's a hefty boy.
So like you need one or the other. So
Well,
that those little physics problems always bother me. But you
yeah.
know, superheroes,
Oh,
you can't get
I
caught up
feel
on physics.
vibranium is a little bit easier to write around because it's like it alters the physics of situations and it's never been clearly defined just how. So you can be like, oh, it's nebulous, but
Yeah, that's
adamantium,
true. And
like,
and vibranium is like can be used for a fuel source or all kind. Like it's the most versatile substance ever.
yeah,
And so
versus
who knows
adamantium,
how it
which
works? It escapes science.
adamantium is supposed to operate based on our normal physics. It's just better than anything we have.
Yeah, but we see him cut through helicopter blades, cut clean through guns, doors,
Mm-hmm.
a sink in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, he can smell. He can smell really well. That's one of his powers.
Yeah, he smells terrible, but he also smells great.
I knew that was coming somewhere. That had to be in this episode somewhere.
It's the obvious joke. He's a little fucking drunkard squat man who's like, "Hey, fuck you, bub," and
He
so
smokes all the time. He's always smoking
yeah,
a cigar.
he's got milk and a steak and a cigar for breakfast every morning.
Man, he probably does smell terrible. Am I leaving
Yeah,
out any powers? I think it's those. He's practically immortal. He's got his super cutty claws, and he can smell real far.
yeah. The enhanced generation means he can get a grievous gaping wound.
Oh, why did I
And
miss the most obvious
yeah,
power that he
well,
has?
it goes in with the immortality kind of thing. He's actually been reduced to a metallic skeleton like a Terminator at one point in the comics, and somehow grew skin back out of nowhere.
So, do we know what would happen if you cut his head off? Has that happened?
I'm pretty sure it has been stated that he'd just die.
Okay, so that's the only way to kill him is to remove his head, but he has a vibranium skeleton, so it's almost impossible.
I think he can suffocate. He can be thrown into
Oh
the
yeah,
sun.
he can suffocate. That's true.
Like he does still require, like, he needs to eat. So he could theoretically starve.
Oh, okay. There are ways to kill him. You just need to be very creative.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also, it's not just smell. His sight, his hearing, all of his senses are extremely superhuman.
Have you seen the Pete Holmes X-Men videos where he's playing Professor
Yes,
X firing?
yes. Oh my god, I
And
found them maybe a year ago.
he's like, I can smell real far, and he goes, "Where did I come from?" And he keeps going back to that, and he goes, "Look, it doesn't help that you have constantly have these harrowing visions of your past, wondering where you come from. But where do I come from, though?"
Oh, it's so good. That entire series is ridiculous. I love it.
He says, "It says here in your file, you are made of metal, the substance that the guy we fight the most can control with his mind."
Yeah, he's really it sucks for him whenever he's stacked up against Magneto because
It's
he's just
such
like,
a
oh,
disadvantage. It's so sad.
He's really helpless against him. He's great at just about every other member of the Brotherhood, But as soon as the leader's there, he's just like, ah, fuck, bub.
Bub.
At least Colossus can turn the metal off.
Oh, he can't. Well, I guess, is that true of the comics version?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Right? Because that's
He
his
can't.
power, is that he generates metal around himself.
Well, he definitely can turn it on and off in the early movies, but the version in Deadpool seems to just be that way because there are situations where he should probably just turn it off. He keeps it on.
I mean, let me look at it real quick. Colossus is a mutant with the ability to transform his entire body into a form of organic steel with properties similar to osmium.
I did not know that he could turn it off. That's pretty cool.
He must transform his entire body into this armored state. He cannot transform only a portion of his body. When he transforms, he gains approximately 1 foot in height. Weight is more than doubled. Yeah, it is a form. It is a transformation he undergoes.
Well, that is pretty cool.
Yep. I'm going to write it up to just, he's not always super bright. And in situations where it might be advantageous for him to
because in Deadpool, he's like
off.
crammed into the back of a taxi and he looks very uncomfortable. It's like, just turn it off, man. You can shrink down a little.
Oh, yeah. Like, here's actually an image of him from Astonishing X-Men Volume 3, number 19, from February of 2007, where he's just skin, like, normal.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, slight tangent there. Well, actually, not really, because Colossus and Wolverine are really good friends. They have the Cannonball special together.
Oh, yeah, where Colossus picks up Wolverine and throws him.
Just chucks him like a spear.
Which is really funny. I guess in the comics, that's a funny image with throwing this tiny dude.
Yeah, well, because it's a 7'5" guy versus a 5'3" guy.
Yeah, you can just throw him.
Yeah, but yeah, that's one of their like go-to maneuvers. And it's damn effective. The guy's still got a metal endoskeleton, and even if he curls into a ball, it's gonna hurt like hell when he hits you.
Colossus used Cannonball. It's super effective.
Oh man, I should have seen that eventually we'd start doing like Pokemon memes here.
So Wolverine, I can't stop thinking about that damn X-Men video where he's like, if it were up to me, I'd have you and Beast down at the airport sniffing out bags.
I wanted to mention his epic rap battle of history is so fucking good.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's Wolverine versus Freddy Krueger.
I don't think I have. I'll have to look it up.
Wolverine has a great string of lines where it's like, so step into my catnap, see if you can hack that. Better hang on to your whack cat because your worst nightmare ain't you jack shit compared to the least of my Weapon X flashbacks. And it actually shows him undergoing like one of those flashbacks he randomly gets.
Have you seen his superpower beatdowns on YouTube?
I think I watched one of them. That's not one of the channels I look to a whole lot, but
so for any listeners who don't know, Superpower Beatdown is a YouTube series where they use surprisingly good props and effects to show live action matchups between characters you wouldn't normally get to see fight. And they did one that was Batman versus Wolverine. And the first time they did it, they had Wolverine win, and it's just this all-out brawl, and at some point Batman kind of tricks Wolverine into thrusting his claws into a power junction box, and it like electrocutes Wolverine, and Batman thinks he's done for, and then Wolverine just gets up and stabs Batman. He's like, I heal real fast, bub. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So Wolverine won. But then they did a rematch a while later where they thought through, no, Batman would have been ready for anything. He would have like researched this guy first. And so when they did the rematch, Wolverine sees him and is like, I thought I killed you last time. And Batman says, I'm not that easy to kill. And he says, well, this time I'm going to cut your head off. And he starts running at him. and then Batman throws this like smoke pellet that explodes, and Wolverine inhales it, and then collapses on the ground, coughing up blood. And Batman walks over and says, "It's micromagnetic dust. It won't kill you, but you'll never walk again." And he just walks away, and it's like, yeah, that's something Batman would do. I buy that.
Oh my God.
Batman does not play around, man.
No, he doesn't. It's totally in character, but Jesus.
It's completely in character. It's just like, Jesus, man. What is wrong with you, Bruce?
Fucked up, man.
Our Batman episode is going to be like 3 hours long. Just heads up to the listener when we get around to that. That's going to be like a 3-hour video.
I think I'm going to save that for like episode. It's got to be a milestone, right? Like episode 100 or something.
Ooh, yeah, I'm down for that.
I think episode 50, I'm going to do. What's the like future, not Justice League? The one from like the year 3000 or something.
Oh, the Legion of Superheroes?
Is that? Yeah, that is what they're called, isn't it?
Yeah.
What the hell? Wait.
You're thinking of the Legion of Super Pets, and because they were connected to the Legion of Superheroes?
No. What?
Okay.
I'm thinking of the Justice Society. In a past episode, I said that the precursor to the Justice League was the Legion of Superheroes, but I meant the Justice Society of America.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the
no,
Legion is
like
the one from like the year 3000. That would be a good 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary. Yeah, let's do this for 50 years.
Oh man, I'm blushing. How could you propose to me like this on stream? But yeah, no, there's a specific reason why I want to do them for a milestone episode, and anyone who's listened to my first episode might be able to figure it out.
Man, I listened to it and I can't figure it out. I'll just ask you off the air.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. Yeah, so okay, now Wolverine.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Wolverine.
He has been in just about every X-Men movie, or I think he has been in every X-Men movie, but
is there one that he's nope, he is not in Dark Phoenix. And he is not in New Mutants.
I didn't watch Dark Phoenix because I just didn't care at that point.
Good job.
Thank you. I like to think I have good judgment.
It's not good.
I've heard.
Well, what's sad about it is, all right, this is going to devolve into a timeline rant, preparations for the listener, but
the entire timeline of all of these movies is not a timeline, though.
It was so close to being a timeline because the first three, solid. There's a timeline. And then we get X-Men Origins Wolverine, which still fits on that timeline pretty well. There's maybe a minor inconsistency about like a character age or something, but it pretty much lines up. And then we get X-Men First Class, which still fits on this timeline, except there's inconsistency about Emma Frost.
I was going to say, like, is he going to bring up Emma or not? Because that shit does not work.
And I'm like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if we hear the younger girl's name, we can just, write it off. Maybe there just happened to be two women who turn into diamonds named Emma. I don't know. I don't care. It's a small enough thing with just one character where I'm like, okay, I'm going to let it go. I'm just going to let it go. And then we get the Wolverine, which still fits this timeline. And then we get Days of Future Past, which still fits most of this timeline, except that it sets them on a new timeline. And then we get Apocalypse, which is on this new timeline. So it's like, sure, I guess you can do everything you want. But then I think Dark Phoenix like somehow contradicts both timelines to where the movie just doesn't fit anywhere anymore. And it's not clear which timeline Logan is on.
There's also like always other little inconsistencies with the timeline, right? Like what's his name? Trask.
Trask. Oh yeah, big black dude in one movie, and then he's
What's the correct term?
What's the correct term? Foreshortened person. in the a dwarf. I This is super off on a tangent. I'm so sorry, everyone. But there's a comedian named John Mulaney, and he had a bit where he says, so I was writing for a TV special, and I really wanted to put the word midget in one of my jokes. And my supervisor came to me and said, you can't put the word midget in this joke. Midget is as bad as the N-word.
Whoa, that is not true.
And he says, first off, no, I told him. No, it's not. You know how I know it's not? Because we're saying the word midget, and you won't even say what the N-word is. If you're comparing the badness of two words and you refuse to say one of them, that's the worst word. And then he says, also, and he gets really terrible. He says, I don't want to like gloss over the plight of of foreshortened people in America, but you cannot compare the struggle of midgets to that of African Americans. That is insane. Because midgets have never been enslaved unless you count the Wonka factory.
I thought you were going to say Santa's workshop.
But then he says, my supervisor said, if you put the word midget in this program, there could be a riot of midgets on this station. And I said, promise? Anyway, I thought that was a pretty good comedy bit.
Oh my god. Yeah, look, like I'll always try to be more I'll try to go with whatever the community of whoever we're talking about desires for themselves to be called, but let's not be like, oh, it's the N-word of whatever. I don't want the N-word to be like the Dark Souls of language. Do you know what I mean? Where everything is like, this is the Dark Souls of platforming games. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's, being politically correct, and which I guess is, I hate using the term politically correct now because some people have given it a negative connotation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to like do what people want.
How dare you not say the N-word? It's PC gone mad, I tell you.
Yeah, just treat people the way they ask you to be treated. That said, if midget is the wrong word, I'm very sorry for saying it so many times in a row on the podcast.
I think I don't think it's going to like create absolute vitriol, but I do think it's sort of frowned upon. So.
Yeah. Anyway, funny comedy bit. Just quoting one of my favorite comedians.
Yeah.
But yes, he goes to wrap all that up. Yes, Trask goes from being a big black dude to Peter Dinklage, and there's no timeline discrepancy you can use to fix that.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, so anyway, we don't want to talk too much about the normal movies. We want to focus on Wolverine's titular movies. So we're going to start with X-Men Origins Wolverine. All right, get ready, everybody. It's time for actually before I do that, I got to start remembering to do like advertisements in the middle of the episode so I don't bombard people with it like at the beginning. So I'll instead say it's time for an ad. And then I'll put an ad there.
And there will be a pause. And if we're lucky, an ad just played and you heard a beautiful ad.
Yeah. I mean, not really, because it's my voice and whatever.
Like, wow, I don't know who that guy was, but he sounded cool. You should definitely listen to whatever that guy was advertising just now.
Oh, shucks. So okay, now it's time for a hot take, spicy take, steaming hot. Ow.
Ow. It's hot.
Oh, it is so spicy. Okay. I fucking
muy caliente.
I like X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I am a fandom optimist. Hashtag fandom optimism. I've been trying really hard to get that to trend. It's not working. But hashtag fandom optimism. I pretty much love all comic book stuff for some reason or another. It's very rare that I don't. I remember someone was, talking about how like half of all comic book movies are only so-so. And my response to that was like, comic book movies have been a thing for like 40 years now, give or take. And of that 40 years, there's like 9 or 10 of them that I think are actually really bad and I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
That's a very small percentage compared to everything that's happened in the last 40 years.
I mean, like, it also depends on if you're counting like some of the older ones.
Oh, I'm counting all the way back to the first Superman movie.
So like the first live action, you count that as bad, right?
Oh yeah. I guess if I'm counting, like, was that in theaters?
I don't know, but I would still count like TV movies or whatever.
Okay, well, if you count TV movies, it goes up a lot. But if I'm only counting like notable theatrical releases, there's only like 10 that I think are legitimately bad movies that I
That's
just
fair.
struggle to watch. X-Men Origins Wolverine is not one of them.
Yeah, it gets such. People say like it's the worst. It's worse than X-Men 3. And to that I say rewatch X-Men 3.
X-Men 3 is definitely worse. I still kind of enjoy X-Men 3. The only one that I like strictly do not enjoy is Dark Phoenix. And even that has a few moments where I'm like, that was really well done. But just on a
Yeah.
whole, I don't have any desire to rewatch it. That's all I
But
mean
like
when I say it's not a great movie, is I don't feel like rewatching.
I've never understood absolute hatred that X-Men Origins Wolverine gets. Like, people will be like, "Oh, Will.i.am sucks at acting." And I'm like, "He's better than some of these actors." People will be like, "Oh, but the CGI looks terrible," and I'm like, "Maybe I'm a little bit CGI blind, but it didn't seem especially jarring to me. Like it does in
Yeah,
some."
it seemed fine. Like the scene where he first uses his metal claws in the bathroom is kind of meh.
It's a little
But
plasticky
oh well.
looking, but like it didn't take me out of it. Um, and it's like I like the action. Yes, I even like the overly dramatic "Cool Guys Don't Look at Explosions" moment that they used for the song "Cool Guys Don't Look at Explosions." By the way, where he's like walking away from the explosion of the helicopter in slow motion. You can call it cheesy all you want, but it's it's a comic book superhero movie with Wolverine. Like you want the cheese at least a little bit.
Yeah, it's comic book movies. You're meant to have fun.
I really liked Gambit.
He
Like,
was great.
yeah, I thought that was a great depiction of Gambit. I really enjoyed that.
I liked
And
Will.i.am as whatever character he was playing. I forgot.
I believe he was Ghost.
Okay. I never knew the name of that character. I just knew it was Will.i.am, and I really liked him.
um, what's his name? The guy who played Sabretooth in that movie.
Leave
I thought
Schreiber.
he was. Yes, he was. Because like Sabretooth was not a character before that movie.
Yeah.
He was just a big snarling, hulking mass of hair and teeth, and it's like, now like he was like sadistic, but like still low key kind of loyal, and yeah, it's like I really liked that.
Now the and they had the Blob. I loved the Blob.
Yeah, it's so good. Like it
I
was
love where he says,
corny as hell.
"Did you just call me Blob?" He goes, "No, I
And
said
he's like,
Bub.
no.
I said Bub."
So good.
Um,
I didn't know what Blob's name was prior to that movie, so
I did not either.
When Fred Dukes was first shown early on, I was like, oh, cool, he's some generic strong guy. He punched the shell of a tank back into the barrel. That's neat. And so then when he popped up later as Blob, I'm like, oh, that's who he is. Okay.
It's the Blob.
I will say I might be biased because my first exposure with X-Men Origins Wolverine was not with the movie. It was with the PlayStation 3 game.
Oh.
That is one of the best PlayStation 3 games there ever was. It was so fucking like it was very video gamey in its feel. Like almost like if you've ever played the old like Gauntlet home game like on the PS2 or whatever.
I have not.
It's like, yes, this is clearly an old school arcade game brought to the, at the time, modern times for the home console. It feels incredibly video gamey. They don't try to make too much of a story or anything out of it. It's, you are collecting power-ups and you are using like the HUD isn't trying to hide away to a minimalist aesthetic to let you appreciate the graphics or whatever. It's like, no, it's full on display. X-Men Origins Wolverine is very similar. It does have a story and everything, but the gameplay is pure unadulterated madness. There is a scene that was apparently going to be in the movie, but they cut it, that where a Sentinel is taking off and Wolverine latches onto its foot at the last second, and he's flying into the upper atmosphere, climbing the Sentinel, disabling its parts along the way.
That's cool.
It's really cool. And oh man, like the fights in that game are so cool. Like, I really like it. It was one of the first ones to establish an actual like character model regenerative system in video games, because whenever you like got shot and stuff, like you would actually see pieces of your body like get blown out, like you'd have bullet holes or slices or whatever, and they would slowly grow back, but your clothes would stay ripped up and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I think your clothes also sometimes regenerated. It wasn't perfect, but like, yeah, it was still really cool to see it, because it's like, it wasn't just your health bar and you had a static model that didn't change. The model actually changed with your health bar, and I always appreciated that as a touch. Yeah, no, it's like a action platformer puzzle game, and it's fantastic. Well,
that's
not
pretty
really,
cool.
not really puzzle game. It's a puzzle game as much as like the old God of War was a puzzle game. Like, there were puzzles.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, X-Men Origins Wolverine, I give it a thumbs up.
The only thing that I take issue at is Deadpool.
Yeah,
That's it. That really bothered
that's
me.
fair.
Ryan Reynolds is great in it.
Yeah, as Wade Wilson, he was fantastic.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there he is, and then you get to the end. It's just, oh, okay. I guess that's.
I do think it's kind of a funny irony that like they alluded to him being the merc with the mouth by saying like, Wade, if you didn't have that mouth on you, you'd be the perfect soldier, and so they removed his mouth.
I really loved that they referenced it in the Deadpool movie. That he goes, I'm gonna sew your fucking mouth shut, and he goes, oh, you don't want to do that.
Trust me. You know what? I'll also admit to a part of my past that still pops up from time to time when inspiration strikes. I used to make a lot of AMVs, and I once made an X-Men Origins Wolverine AMV of the battle between Wolverine and Deadpool, using the song Voodoo.
Ooh.
You know that one?
I think I do.
I'm not the one who's so far away. That one.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I can't remember why I picked that one. I think it was just because the creepy vibe fit that version of Deadpool for me.
So I love.
I did the after credits scene where his arm starts crawling over to touch his decapitated head, and he opens his eyes.
Yeah, that was spooky.
Yeah,
I love in the marketing, again, kind of off topic, but vaguely related. In the marketing for Deadpool, they had one where it's Deadpool talking about Australia Day, and he's wishing everyone a happy Australia Day, and he goes, I think I would fit right in with your culture, what with your shady criminal past and your predilection for blackout drinking and your unwarranted condescension toward New Zealand. And then he says, but unfortunately, you gave us Wolverine, and for that, I can't forgive you. Because, I've got no problem with Hugh. He's a great guy, really, true legend. But the movie was a career low point for me. You get it.
I do
just thought that was great.
It was fantastic. Also, speaking of uh, uh, promotional material and sort of segueing back into our topic, with X-Men Origins Wolverine, there actually was like a small promotional campaign where they were interviewing the different members of that little strike force that Wolverine and Sabretooth are part of.
Hmm.
And there's one with Wade where it's like, it's always been my dream to um, go to exciting new places, meet interesting new people, and then kill them. So good. Um, all right. Well, while I enjoyed X-Men Origins Wolverine, I did not feel quite so positive about the Wolverine.
Yeah, it's not as good. Um, I still kind of like it. There's a few really great um there's a few really great lines where Wolverine's interrogating someone and he says something like, "You've got 10 words to explain what I want to hear," and then he says something like, "Please don't kill me," or something along those lines. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but Wolverine turns to the girl with him and he goes, "How many words was that?" And she goes, "7." He goes, "You've got 3 left." And he like says something and then he just winds up throwing him off a balcony and she runs up to see what happened to him and she goes, "How'd you know that pool was there?" And he goes, "I didn't." And it was just this peak
God.
Wolverine. It was great.
Yeah.
I love the beginning, with him being out in the, I guess, Canadian wilderness, and he finds the poisoned bear. Um, that opening is really great.
I don't remember that. I've only watched the movie once.
Yeah, so the movie, I don't remember if this is the very opening. I think it is because we start with a flashback to the 40s with Wolverine in a Japanese prison camp because he fought in World War II. And we see that they are like pretty close to, I guess, Hiroshima. And the nuke lands, and Wolverine actually saves a Japanese officer who winds up being the villain of the movie.
He got
Um,
radiation burned. Like he,
yeah, he gets fucked up. He gets nuked, and
it's a
he's
good thing
fine.
he can regenerate.
And he is fine. And so we see that he was dreaming about that. He wakes up. He's been like sleeping outdoors in, I guess, Canada, out in the woods, and he finds a poisoned bear that's been shot by like a poisoned arrow from a crossbow, or I guess like a bolt from a crossbow. And he tracks the hunters down and finds them at a bar. And it's a really cool scene that he just walks in and stabs the hunter through the hand with the poisoned bolt. And the guy's like screaming and freaking out. And Wolverine says, "Ask me where I got that." And the guy's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And he goes, "Ask me where I got it." And the dude says, "Where'd you get it?" And he goes, "Oh, funny you said you should ask." And he tells him that he found it and it killed this bear. And the bear suffered. Like when he finds the bear, it wasn't dead, it was suffering. And he winds up having to put the bear out of its misery. And he explains this to the guy, and the guy's like, "I swear I never put poison on my crossbow bolts." And he says, "Then I guess you got nothing to worry about." Walks away from him, and it's like, okay, this guy's cool. The opening of that movie is very cool.
Like I remember there being cool moments of the movie. Like first of all, the entire Wolverine in Japan thing. Like I mentioned it briefly in my Iron Fist episode that like yeah, I could see the issue with it being like the white savior thing. Like, oh, of course it's the one white guy that's in Japan that's like doing all the things, but like I don't know. He Wolverine more so than Netflix's Iron Fist seems to really respect the culture. Like
Yeah.
he knows how to speak Japanese. It's one of the things he retained even through his amnesia. He, like kneels when he's supposed to kneel. He, shows extreme respect, which is really outside of his American/Canadian tendencies. Um, like whenever he's in New York City, he's just like, fuck you, Bob. But when he's in Japan, it's just arigato. Yes. And it's like that's true to his character in the comics as well. Like I feel like if the man ever does settle down, like it will be in Japan. That seems to be like a second home for him.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I do like a lot about that, and it was a good plot of we're seeing a Wolverine who can't heal.
The train scene is really cool. I do remember
the train
that.
scene is awesome.
Lots
of cool train scenes in comic book movies.
I think from what I remember, what I found to make the movie become more mediocre for me in the end is a combination of that lady villain was
Viper
underwhelming. Was that Viper?
I think it's supposed to be Viper, yeah.
Like
I think
Madam Hydra?
I think.
I'm
Googling.
Okay.
I'm googling this.
Because she has both names, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She was like she sort of petered out, like sort of fizzled out by the end. And then like the final thing with Steel Samurai was not as cool as it should have been.
Yeah, I believe that is meant to be Madam Viper.
Okay.
In that movie.
Well, anyway, Steel Samurai is a very cool character, especially if he's supposed to be like a giant, not giant, but like a pretty big robot version of Steel Samurai.
Yeah, Mecha Samurai.
Yeah, for it to not, like, I was sort of dozing off a little bit when I watched it. I remember I was watching it with my mom, and I could see she was starting to like lose focus, and I was like, "Oh,
that's so funny," because I remember it exactly the same way. Where I was like, I get to the Silver Samurai part, and I'm like, "Are we done? Is this done yet?" And I was barely paying attention to the movie by that point.
Man, it's like I don't know. It's hard to put into words. It's one of those things where it's like I have to tell you, just watch the movie yourself to understand what we're saying, because it's one of those things you really have to experience. But something wasn't there.
Yeah, but it is at a level where if you haven't seen it, dear listener, I'm still going to recommend that you see it. Like, this isn't the kind of movie where I'm like, it's not like Dark Phoenix, where I'm like, do yourself a favor, don't bother. This is still worth a watch. There's just missing something that makes it a good movie. So
I will tell you, the movie commits a cardinal sin with the deleted scene.
Oh, Oh, is it the suit?
It's the fucking suit.
It's the.
They filmed a scene where the Asian girl. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. But she has a briefcase and she opens it up, and Wolverine looks in and sort of nods, and it's the yellow and blue suit, comic accurate, and they didn't do it. And you know what?
The helmet.
They made the fucking joke in X-Men 1 where they're like, "Oh, would you prefer yellow spandex?" And at the time, it's
yes,
like, that would be ridiculous.
Yes, I would prefer yellow spandex.
But today we've proven. Look at fucking Falcon and the Winter Soldier and try and tell me that look at Deadpool. Look at all of the suits that we've had in the past like 10 years and tell me that comic accurate suits can't fucking work. Hell, it worked in Iron Man 1.
It worked in Superman.
His Mark III suit in Iron Man 1 is one of the most comic accurate things I had seen at the time. And
yeah, pretty much all of the MCU suits are like slightly realistic versions, like slightly modernized versions, but those are comic book suits.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Thor is the Thor from the comic books. That's exactly how he looks.
In the Avengers movie, Captain America's suit skewed more towards the Ultimates, but you know what? I'll still take it.
I'll take it.
But yeah, he should have had the fucking Wolverine suit, and he didn't. And it's goddamn.
They should have given it to him. I'm sad.
Well, what came immediately after the Wolverine? It was Days of Future Past, right?
Days of Future Past.
I I still like the neo-futuristic aesthetic. Like the black suits there made more sense than they did in like X-Men 1.
Yeah, his suit with the yellow highlights in that movie is a pretty cool suit.
That's right. It had both the yellow and the blue highlights on the black suit.
Yeah, that was cool.
And you know what? I could get behind that. That's fine. But I still wanted him to have that goddamn suit. And they were just like, no, we can't. I'll briefly touch on this because it's not part of the trilogy, but Days of Future Past was my favorite X-Men movie.
It is the best movie. And it's worth mentioning because it's a Wolverine movie. He is very clearly the main character of that movie.
Yeah, I do get it. I understand it. I do think it would have been interesting if they tried to have Shadowcat be the main. They've done 3 different main characters with that story. In the comics, it was Shadowcat. In the cartoon, it was Bishop.
Is Shadowcat the Elliot Page character in the movie? Okay.
Yes. Kitty Pryde.
Okay.
Very extremely like unrelated thing, but I'm gonna say it anyway because fuck you, it's my show. I've always had a big crush on Kitty Pryde ever since I saw X-Men Evolution for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And
fair enough.
When I was reading through Homestuck, as soon as she appeared, I really liked Roxy Lalonde, and she would later on have her God tier ability as the Rogue of Void, I think she was, and her outfit was like blue and black, and she had like a bandana mask like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatever have, and it was like, oh wow, that's a really neat suit. Why is it vaguely familiar to me? And I wound up looking it up, and the original Shadowcat outfit from the comics is like this old like Zorro-esque thief outfit, like poofy pants and the bandana mask, and she had big old fluffy 80s hair, and it was blue and black. So Roxy's outfit in Homestuck is actually based on Shadowcat, which is appropriate because her powers are like void and darkness related, and also she likes cats. So I do think it was nice that they still had Shadowcat be a big part of it. He was the one who sent Wolverine's mind back. And I saw people being like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Her power is to walk through walls. And it's like, well, they have established in the comics that the X-Men, or mutants in general, can sometimes undergo a secondary mutation. Like Beast thing was just that he was a big guy with like feet hands. Yeah. And then he like accelerated his own mutation through like through chemical engineering and furry blue beast, but that was still all part of his like initial mutation. However, later on in the comics, he does have a secondary mutation where he takes a more feline appearance. He looks like a big blue lion.
It always really bugs me when people are like, well, that doesn't make sense because in the last movie you told me this about their powers. The movie is the material. It's like when people complain about The Last Jedi by saying that's not how the Force works. Yes, it is. That you're watching a Star Wars movie. They're telling you how the Force works. Right now. That's how the Force works. It's in the movie.
I will tell you, I actually just had a big argument on Twitter yesterday, which to me.
Those are always so much fun.
Where I basically had to be like, just because you don't like the direction a story takes does not mean you can tell other fans that they are wrong because your fan fiction and instead paying attention to what the series itself presents.
Yep.
Some of my mutuals on Twitter are big Goku and Chi-Chi. They love them, and they cannot reconcile the fact that Goku does not kiss his wife. I'm sorry. Goku said he does not kiss his fucking wife. They've never been shown to kiss in the American broadcast one time. heads were not shown in frame. There was a smooch sound effect, but this is also the same American broadcast that said that Bardock was a brilliant scientist. So no, you can't take that shit as fucking gospel. They haven't kissed. That's been stated in the show. And no, stop trying to tell me I'm fucking wrong or, well, we can all have our own interpretations. The show is the interpretation.
Yeah, what you're seeing on the screen, they're telling you what the world is. This is how it works. So yeah, it always bothered me when people are like, "Well, no, Kitty Pryde can only walk through walls." It's like, well, apparently she can do this. The movie just showed you that she can do this.
The idea is that it's an enhancement of her powers to where even time itself is a wall that she can now walk through.
Oh, that's a cool way to look at it.
Yeah. I saw that explanation. I was like, I can get behind that. That makes sense to me.
That's very cool. I like
yeah. And it's like, it's not the only time where her power is based entirely on like a conceptual, like abstract concept instead of something physical, because she can also fly in the comics. And when they go, how are you doing that? She's walking through air.
So
that's literally it. Her power is an abstract concept.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So okay, now you may have noticed I said Days of Future Past was my favorite X-Men movie. Then I saw Logan.
Oh, Logan.
This movie made me cry.
Buckle up, folks. Okay, so the whole time I was like, it's not going to get me. It's not going to get me. They got to the death of, by the way, full spoilers for all of these. In case you haven't watched one of them, you should watch them.
Yes, please do.
You should, if you have not watched Logan and you are this far in, please watch Logan and then come back to this. You're doing yourself a huge disservice if you listen to the rest of this sentence before you watch Logan.
We can wait. Pause this. Go watch Logan. It's probably super cheap now. It's
probably on some streaming service. I don't know, but
I will tell you, I gave it, like, my buddy Gene asked me when we came out of the movie theaters, how would you rate it out of 10? It was a 10 out of 10 for me. Go watch it.
So that said, here comes the big spoilers. They got to the death of Professor X, and I was like, man, that's brutal, but I'm not gonna cry. And we got to a whole bunch of other stuff, and then they got to the death of Wolverine, and I was like, you're not gonna get me. I'm not gonna cry. And then she picks up the cross and turns it over and sets it down to make an X. Fucking lost it, man.
Yeah.
that was it for me.
I'll say the death of Professor X didn't make me cry, only by sheer, like, things started happening faster than I could process. Because at first I was like, oh, maybe it's a bad dream because that's not what Wolverine looks like. But then by the time I realized that it was another Wolverine, then things were already ramping up to another thing. So I didn't even have time to, like, emotionally grieve.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it got to Wolverine's death, it was a lot slower, and I was already crying, and then like, I was starting to recover, and then she turned it to the X.
Like, it killed me, man. It was brutal.
I just couldn't. And like when Gene was like, what do you give it? And I'm like 10 out of 10, and he was like, really? I'm like, dude, you saw the visceral emotional reaction it gave me. I feel like if any movie invests me to that degree, I have to by default give it a 10 out of 10 because clearly it was doing things right.
Oh, it earns it. It's amazing. So the general plot is that Wolverine has a daughter, and also that he's dying because the adamantium is now poisoning him, and so he's no longer healing, and he's not looking too great. And man, just the way they made him look was emotionally exhausting to me.
He looked so old. Hugh Jackman doesn't even actually look that old.
No, they significantly aged him up.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Brutal.
Dude, I knew from the moment I was watching the trailers for the movie, the first trailer for that movie, do you remember it?
Yep.
It had
And I
Hurt by
remember the
Billie Eilish.
music.
Yeah. Oh, and like he had to pull one of the knives out because
Oh,
it was like locked because like your bones lock.
oh God, it hurt.
Um, and just like the scene of him silhouetted against the graveyard and he's drinking and he's like, Charles, the mutants, they're all gone. It's just like, oh,
Okay, it took me 2 or 3 viewings for it to occur to me what happened to the mutants. I didn't click when I saw it in theaters. It wasn't
I
until I
managed to figure
rewatched
it
it
out.
on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I managed to figure it out when I was still in the theater, though it was like, yeah, it wasn't until later on in the movie. But yeah, essentially, Professor X, the world's most powerful telepath, um, had a stroke.
Mm.
And when he had a stroke, everyone in his vicinity had a stroke. And he survived it, but the psychic waves coming off of him as his brain was like essentially having the brain's equivalent of a seizure killed every mutant around except for Logan, whose regenerative capabilities could keep him alive through psychic attacks like that. Because the way that Marvel presents psychic abilities is that a brain blast is essentially like a concussion. Like it's attacking your brain cells. So because it does have a physical impact instead of just this like esoteric, ethereal, like, oh, the mind is the spirit or whatever, like some shit does. It's like, no, Wolverine actually has some resistance to psychic abilities because his brain cells also regenerate.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, so and Professor X now has dementia, and he cannot remember that he killed everyone. And every once in a while, because it's like Alzheimer's a little bit too, he like thinks that Wolverine is the one that killed all the mutants, and Wolverine just has to keep quiet for like both of their sakes, and sort of shoulder that burden and his judgment. Um, because it's not like explaining it to Professor X will make him feel better. It's not like explaining it will even stick because he'll forget again. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just this shitty situation, but he's still doing everything he can to take care of Charles because he has such deep respect and such a history with Charles. And yeah, he's given up on any hope of mutants. Because any who didn't die in Charles' psychic wave um, were then hunted down by the mutant response team. That's them, right? The Martys, they're
Yeah.
called. And or mutant response division, something like that. And uh it comes to his attention that a facility has essentially cloned some of the old mutants, including him, to form X-23. She's just called Laura in the movie, but I knew her as X-23 because I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And she also had an episode or two in X-Men Evolution.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. I didn't know that.
yeah, it was in season 4, I think it was, the last season. Might have been season 3, I don't know. But anyway, um, she is a clone of Wolverine. She's essentially Rule 63 Wolverine, the gender bent version. But as an additional difference, instead of having 3 claws in each hand, she has 2 claws in each hand and 1 in each foot. So she can also stab you with her kicks.
Whew.
And that
And
leads her to have,
she is a little badass in that
oh,
movie.
she's so cool. Like in the grown up variation of her, it leads to her having a much more acrobatic style than Wolverine, because where he's hunched over and just like charging at you and he's just slicing and dicing with his arms flailing wildly, she'll do like fucking somersaults and kick flips and all sorts of stuff because she's not just attacking you with her arms, her feet are also in the mix. She essentially turns into a living saw blade. And it's rad. But yeah, in the movie, even as a little girl, she is she's prone to Logan's berserk states. um, she just goes absolutely ham, and it's so cool. She like a guy goes to handcuff her at one point, and she just walks out facing the rest of like the death squad, and she just tosses them something, and they're like, "What is this?" And then they realize it's their buddy's decapitated head.
Oh my god, she's so cool.
She is way cooler as a child than you and I will ever be as adults.
Yep.
And the entire emotional journey of Logan not only like coming to care for and take care of his daughter, and also dealing with Charles and sort of finding a new family in them all over again, but also gaining hope that there is now a new generation of mutants to carry on beyond them. Like it's so fulfilling and heartwarming but tragic at the same time, because you're seeing they look up to him like an icon, like many of us do. And like when he's lost, they share our emotional reaction to it. They feel the loss of an icon just like we do. And it's one of the most intense movie experiences I've ever had.
It's so good.
Yeah. Also, Caliban went out like a fucking G.
Yes.
That man deserves all the credit.
That man gets the gold medal.
Hell yeah.
I love the. I did not know this until kind of recently because I didn't know much about X-Men comics. But that, and this is kind of off the topic of Wolverine, but on the topic of these movies, that they were kind of setting up a Thanos-ish level threat over the course of a few movies that they just never got around to. Because starting in Apocalypse, the post-credit scene is there was a big fight with Wolverine, and a guy carrying a briefcase from Essex Corp comes to get Wolverine's blood. And I thought that it's like that it paid off in Logan, that okay, now we see that the blood was to create an evil clone and also to create X-23, and that's Essex Corp. And so there you go, you paid off your thing. But then also in Deadpool 2, the orphanage.
I actually haven't seen Deadpool 2 still, I'll admit.
Okay, this isn't much of a spoiler. There's a creepy orphanage that is like an Essex property. In Deadpool 2. It's very good. You should watch it.
I've been meaning to. I've been waiting for like the right time, the right feeling. I might do it tomorrow.
And then in New Mutants, they're in this insane asylum, which is also operated by Essex Corps, and the doctor there keeps talking about her mysterious superior, who she has to report back to, who's in charge of this place. And so I got curious. I was like, Essex, why does this name keep popping up all over these last 4 movies? And I see that a Mr. Nathaniel Essex is known as Mr. Sinister, in the comics, and that these X-Men movies were apparently building toward doing Mr. Sinister, and they just never got a chance because the whole franchise fizzled out and was bought by Disney.
Yeah.
So that's a little sad.
Well, what's crazy is that Mr. Sinister is a big deal villain for the X-Men, but you know who's a bigger deal? Apocalypse. Why did they do Apocalypse first?
Yeah, they wasted him.
Again, that's one of those that I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of clips of it, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it, but everything I've seen of it suggests that he was pretty wasted, especially because you got Oscar Isaac to play him.
Yeah, it's not a great role.
If you want a better Apocalypse, I've mentioned a couple times, watch X-Men Evolution, because he is the final big bad of that show.
Yeah. The movie is not great.
Yeah.
But it's still in the range of like, it's worth seeing. It's just
Yeah.
not. It's no masterpiece, but it's worth seeing.
It's got Jubilee in it, right?
Yes, she is in it, and it has the single coolest speedster scene in any media that has a speedster in it. Well, I don't know. The time travel-y thing in Zack Snyder's Justice League is pretty cool, but
Uh,
this the kitchen scene from Days of
yes,
Future Past.
of course I do. I love it.
I think the scene in Apocalypse one-upped it.
Really, that's
And
a big deal.
at the very least, okay, this is a mild spoiler for the plot of Apocalypse, but not much. There is a scene where Apocalypse and a few other mutants come to abduct Professor X from the mansion. Someone shoots something at Apocalypse, and he teleports away. So it goes right past where he was standing a moment ago and hits some experimental engine for this new jet that they have created. And an explosion rings out that is going to destroy the entire mansion, which just happens in these movies a lot. So I don't feel like that's a big spoiler that the mansion gets destroyed.
No, it gets destroyed all the time.
And Quicksilver shows up and realizes that he has to get everyone out of that mansion before it explodes, and what ensues is spectacular.
I think I've seen it on YouTube before, actually.
It is spectacular. I love it.
Man, like it's the curse, right? Because like these movies have so many good things, but there's also so much crap. And they're like so intertwined. You can't really get away from them. Like there's very few of these movies that I say are like there's not something infuriating about them. Like Logan, Days of Future Past, and I think maybe the first two X-Men movies. I think those are the ones that I'm like, they're just completely really good.
Mm.
And everything else is at best like, oh, there's cool parts, but oh no, First Class is really good.
First Class is great.
Yes. But yeah. uh and again, I should point out that we're still in Pride Month. Wolverine is in fact an LGBT character. I believe he's bisexual. He has been in a relationship with Hercules. I think he was in a relationship with someone else, a gay relationship.
Clickety clickety clack.
Yeah. There he is making out with Hercules. Yeah, the image of him making out with Hercules is one of the most epic things. It's like he's wearing like a duster and a cowboy hat, and Hercules has a sword that's covered in green blood, and there's like a dragon behind them that's been slayed. I think there was someone else, but I can't remember who else he did the smoochies with. Well, it doesn't matter. Regardless. Now as for next week's final Pride Month episode, I'm thinking. No, wait, there's two more. No. Sorry, there's one more. My bad. For the final Pride Month episode, I'm thinking we go from Wolverine to his best buddy and pal, Deadpool.
Oh boy.
So I will need to watch Deadpool 2 in preparation.
I'm excited to hear your thoughts on that. That'll be fun.
And I will say, unlike some of the others who have either been like bisexual or possibly pansexual, Deadpool is what's known as omnisexual. It's not pansexual where he'll fuck anyone. It's omnisexual where he will fuck anything. For good and bad.
I love Deadpool. He's great.
Oh man, we got to save that love for next time though.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
All right, do you have any final thoughts about Wolverine?
Yeah, nothing I can think of.
I'm trying to think of like what the lesson for the episode would be. Like he's a character that's undergone severe trauma, but can always bounce back no matter what. Even if he's had all of his flesh, muscles, organs away, he will just keep walking towards you and grow it all back and be like, "Is that all you got, bub?" He he seems like a poster boy for toxic masculinity, and yet as like a sort of older brother figure for all of the X-Men, he incredibly progressive.
Yeah,
Um,
he's cool. He definitely epitomizes the idea that you don't need to let the any perceived damage from your past define who you're going to be.
no, he's the perfect blend of tradition and progress. He can uh he's so tough. He's so masculine. Like we said, he can take any darkness or trauma that comes his way and both emotionally and physically always recover from it. But at the same time, he still shows that he cares about others. You, we often have this image of someone who's caring, a caring man as like a sensitive little snowflake man. But like, oh man, Wolverine will drink you under the table. He will fuck you up in fisticuffs. He'll slander you in ways that will make a sailor blush. Um, like fuck your mom afterwards. Like he's like every manly, and yet whenever like start showing their bullshit, like what the fuck is wrong with you, bub? Those are people. Have a goddamn heart. He's legitimately great. He's a great example of how you don't have to sacrifice your masculinity as if you are a guy in order to still be part of um, love and acceptance. Uh, and I think that's a great example to follow.
Beautiful.
So, thank you, Wolverine, for being cool and gay. All right. Well, with that, make sure to join our Discord, where you can post suggestions for what's going to come up. Starting the episode after next, we'll be out of Pride Month, so that sort of opens up more options. So anything that you want to hear us talk about, I might start stepping a little bit more into like video game and anime characters, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
All right.
I might not know anything about them, but it's cool. But I don't have to be on every episode.
Well, that might be an interesting thing if I ever want to give any other person who's interested in co-hosting with me a chance from time to time.
Yeah, some video game and anime experts.
Yeah, I have a few of them in my Discord already. Other than that, please consider supporting me on my little support page that I have on Anchor now. I will say I have my first supporter. Thank you to Bobby Good 66 who has joined the $1 tier. I appreciate it. I am sorry you joined on the Podbean version, which doesn't seem to be keeping up with my uploads. So I hope you can hear this. If you can, thank you. And anybody else who wants to support, I will give you a shout out. And pending me making enough money through this, I'll start giving little rewards. I might start like sending out fun little nerd culture swag from time to time.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So like I might do drawings in the future to see which of my patrons will win such things. but I can only do that with your support because I'm poor. All right. Well, with that, final thoughts.
My only final thoughts are find an excuse to laugh at something today and try to make someone else laugh too.
Beautiful. All right, everybody, stay strong, stay true to yourselves, and remember, we can all be heroes. Ta-da. All right.
Spectacular. Is the midget thing bad? Should we cut the midget thing? I've been like thinking about that this whole fucking time. I've been like, did I fuck up?